Welcome in Namaste Geography channel. Many of our viewers had an opinion that we should also start our series in English medium so that they can get benefit out of that. So our English series will be benefited not only for the students who are appearing in examination in English medium, but also for the students who are preparing for the UPSC Civil Services examination and PCS examination. Today we are going to start a new series for our students, that is the discussion on the current geographical development around the world. Students, whatever the development taken place on this earth, be it a political, it is a religious, it is a social, it is a related to climate, related to surface of the earth, every event, every phenomena is directly related to geography. In today's video, we shall discuss all those developments. The topic of today is the recent development that has taken place in Bay of Bengal, that is the disastrous Amphan cyclone. The Amphan cyclone struck with the Bay of Bengal, along the coast of Bangladesh and West Bengal on 20th of May, Wednesday. So the city Kolkata, it has witnessed one of its most severe cyclone in many decades in this 21st century. The wind speed in this cyclone was more than 90 km/h. Already knocked down by the virus, flattened by the winds, Cyclone Amphan has claimed 98 lives in West Bengal. Amphan wiped out thousands of houses, broken embankments, and destroyed swath of agricultural land. The trail of destruction that caused in the state that is already grappling with the COVID-19 situation. Amphan went on a rampage. It surged through the city, carelessly sweeping aside trees, lampposts, vehicles, and even robust brick and mortar structures were damaged. The Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee gave a statement that she has not witnessed such a severe and catastrophic cyclone in her entire life. In recent times, in last 20 years, there is no record that cyclone with a wind speed of as high as 185 km/h making a landfall on the coast of Bengal. It was not only the intensity of the storm, but the duration it stayed along the coastal areas. Unusually, this cyclone Amphan stayed along the coastal areas for more than 6 hours. Over 5 lakhs people were evacuated and sent to the safer places. Only in 24 Pargana district of West Bengal, 3 lakh people were evacuated and sent to the safer places so that the human loss can be minimized. Now, West Bengal is a leading state in paddy production. Almost 3 crops of paddy are taken with the deltic soils. Along with paddy, many cash crops are also grown in West Bengal like sesame, jute, fruits. And because of this Amphan cyclone, many of standing crops simply disappeared. The people in Kolkata woke up with the destruction that was of a scale that they had never imagined. The city was completely battered. Trees and poles lay uprooted in every lane, in every neighborhood. According to weather officials, 3 factors were the main reason for this much of destruction. One was the very high velocity gale winds, very heavy rainfall, and storm surge. Because unfortunately, when the landfall was there of Amphan cyclone, there was a high tide in West Bengal, in the Bay of Bengal. The 223 years old botanical garden set by the Britishers for the botanical research in India had turned into a graveyard of trees. Many rare species of trees were destroyed. A Dutch cemetery around the same age as the garden was destroyed in Hooghly, Chinsura. Now, data from Indian Meteorological Department said that from 1901 to 2012, the Sundarban Delta saw 367 depression, 68 storms, and 77 cyclone. Out of these 77 cyclone, 32 were the prominent cyclone and disastrous cyclones. Just look at the video that how the cyclone Amphan went on a rampage and destroyed the coastal areas of West Bengal. Just look at this video. Cyclone Amphan made a landfall on the Indian coast on May 20th. It's the biggest super cyclone to form in the Bay of Bengal since 1999 Odisha cyclone, that was super cyclone. It crossed West Bengal and Bangladesh coast between Digha and Hatia near Sundarban. The Sagar Island was worst affected. The roofs were collapsed. Width of wall cloud was 120 km and the diameter of the eye was about 40 km. Over 5 lakhs people were evacuated and sent to the camps in Odisha. As of May 20th, at least 10 casualties were reported. The total casualties in this cyclone were 98. According to Regional Meteorological Center in Kolkata, the landfall started around 2:30 p.m. and it continued till 7 p.m. This is a Digha, the main city worst affected by this cyclone. The wind speed was unusually high, 150 to 160 km per hour. In Kolkata, the wind speed was 112 km per hour along with the heavy rainfall. The last year, Cyclone Fani struck with the coast of Odisha, and that was a category 4 cyclone. And that cyclone was also fueled by the high temperature in Bay of Bengal. Now the question arises that how the tropical cyclone gain energy. The tropical cyclone gains energy from the high temperature and heavy moisture in the oceans. Ideally, the temperature of 26 degrees centigrade is sufficient and enough for the origin of the tropical cyclone. But unusually, this year, the temperature in Bay of Bengal is high as 34 degrees centigrade. According to a scientist in the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology in Pune, Roxy Matthew Call has said that Amphan cyclone intensified from the category 1 to category 5 in just 18 hours. That was unusually a quick evolution. The last year Fani cyclone that struck with Odisha was also fueled by the high temperature in Bay of Bengal. These storms had an reliable effect on the monsoon in India. If you look at the trajectory of the Amphan cyclone, it just goes parallel to the Odisha and West Bengal coast and struck with the Sundarban Delta. Now Sundarban Delta is a World UNESCO Heritage Site and it is a home of thousands of rare species of birds, amphibians and animals. It's a home of Royal Bengal tiger. And because of the Amphan cyclone, there is a heavy destruction in the islands that are home of all these rare species, including Royal Bengal tiger, especially the Sagar Island. The effect of this cyclone was not only in West Bengal, but also in Odisha, our neighboring country that is Bangladesh, the Indian state of Meghalaya, Mizoram and Assam. Now, today the Indians are better warned. They have a flood of information through the internet, through media, through WhatsApp. But before 20 years, the situation was not same. Today, the Indian Meteorological Department, well in time, informed the coastal areas, the people who are living in coastal areas, that certain cyclone is coming towards this particular place. And this warning can be well given before 8 to 9 days. In the case of Amphan, the warning was given before 8 days. But in Odisha, in 1999, the super cyclone in which the wind speed was as high as 365 km per hour, the category 5 cyclone, 10,000 people were killed. Thousands of acres of land was destroyed, became saline. The soils became unfit for the agriculture. The standing crops were damaged and many farmers, they were badly affected. According to an estimate, the property worth rupees 4.5 billion US dollar was damaged. let us discuss certain terminology which is associated with the cyclones. Number one is landfall of the cyclone. Now, what is landfall? You must have read in the newspapers, you must have listened on the news channels that landfall of the cyclone taken place at 2:30 p.m. The landfall is when the eye of cyclone, means center of the cyclone, superimposed on the coastal areas. One more definition. According to US Hurricane Center, the landfall is the intersection of the center of a tropical cyclone with the coastline. In other words, landfall is when the eye of the cyclone moves to a land after being on water. The larger wind field along the coast result in storms and rising ocean waves. Now, what is storm surge? The cyclones move in an anti-clockwise or the counter-clockwise direction in the northern hemisphere. And with this movement, the ocean water also move in a circulatory direction. And if there is a high tide in the sea, as in the case of Amphan this time, the circulatory moving water intensified and pile up water along the coastal areas, resulting the floods. And this year in the case of Amphan, the coastal areas were flooded because of the storm surge. Although the tidal bore is associated with the high tides or the wall of water, the tidal bore is a phenomena in which leading edge of the incoming tide will form a wave or waves of water that travel up a river or a narrow bay against the direction of the river or bay's current. Now, why the cyclone mostly comes in the Bay of Bengal? There are certain reasons. Let us discuss one by one. In Bay of Bengal, there are unique thermal contrast zones and differential heating tropical water body with about 26 degree centigrade temperature. This year, as we have discussed, the temperature was as high as 34 degrees centigrade. The two changing seasons, the contrasting time, the contrasting temperature between March to mid-June and September to December. This is an ideal period of the origin of cyclone. Impact of surrounding land masses of South and Southeast Asia and heat intensification. The unique coastal terrain flanking escarpments and ranges. Bay of Bengal has relatively low salinity and aggressive hydrological cycle, which adds more and more moisture, means more ammunition to the cyclones. The presence of islands and development of ideal condition. Abundance of deltas and wet points in coastal areas. Southwest and northeast running coastline suits parabolic paths of cyclone. Now, in this part of the video, we shall discuss the new names that has been given by Indian Meteorological Department to the cyclones. The World Meteorological Organization gave names to the cyclone. The new list of names of tropical cyclone over North Indian Ocean worldwide gave by the regional specialized meteorological centers and 5 regional tropical warning centers, which is mandated for issuing advisory and naming of tropical cyclone. The Indian Meteorological Department is one of the regional specialized warning center. Now, it has a responsibility for giving advisories and naming the cyclones, with others 13 member countries. These 13 member countries are Bangladesh, India, Iran, Maldives, Myanmar, Oman, Pakistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, United Arab Emirates and Yemen. New Delhi is mandated to naming the cyclone not only in the Bay of Bengal but also in the Arabian Sea and North Indian Ocean. Now, there is certain criteria for naming these cyclones. Number 1, the proposed name should be neutral to the politics and any political figure, political beliefs, religious beliefs, cultures and genders. Number 2, name should be chosen in such a way that it does not hurt the sentiment of any community over the earth. It should not be very rude and cruel. It should be short, easy to remember, easy to pronounce. The maximum length of the name should be 8 letters. The name of cyclones that will come in the coming cyclone, as in the case of Amphan, was the last name in the list that was made in 2004. Amphan was the last name. Now, next cyclone will be given a new name, and among these new names there may be Gati, Tej, Murasu, Aag, Vayom, Jhar, Prabho, Prabhanjan, Gurni, Ambud, Jaladhi, Vega, and few more names like Biparjoy, Arnab and Upkal. These are certain Indian names which will appear in the for the coming cyclones. Otherwise, the description of these 169 cyclone is given under this video. You may click on the description and view all these 169 names. The Indian Navy issues bulletin for 75 offshore kilometer for its fishermen. Now, if the cyclone originates, it's a yellow warning. The cyclone, when it starts moving in a particular direction, it's a orange warning, and post landfall, it's a red warning. Now, the cyclones are known by the different names in the different parts of the world. In America, the cyclones are called hurricanes. In China, they are called typhoons. In Philippines, Bagu. In Japan, they are called Taifu. In Australia, the cyclones are named as Willy Willy, and in Indian subcontinent, the cyclones are known as simply cyclones. All means the extreme low pressure areas. Now, why the cyclone move in a counterclockwise direction? Just look at this video. All hurricanes, all cyclones, they move in the same direction, that is counterclockwise. Why? The part of this reason is location. Hurricanes are tropical storms that form in the northern hemisphere. We have already discussed. Storm in southern hemisphere rotates clockwise. Why? This is because of the Coriolis force or Coriolis effect. That is result of the rotational speed of the Earth. The rotational speed is faster on the equator than the poles. And the winds and water in the ocean moves in a right direction in northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. The air moving in north curves east and air moving south curves west. The motion affects wind flow as hurricane forms. Hurricanes grows out of a central region of extreme low pressure, out of which there is a high pressure and wind rushes to the low pressure area to the center of the cyclone, moving in a anti-clockwise direction in northern hemisphere. The situation is just opposite in the southern hemisphere. The winds move in a clockwise direction. But what about equator? The equator with 5° north and south don't witness any cyclone because the winds, trade winds which move from east to west, they pushes away the cyclones. So for the 5° north and south of the equator, the belt of doldrum, there is no cyclone at all, and it's a safer place during the cyclones. Next information about the cyclones. The cyclone usually comes between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. The lower latitude do not span over the equator but sometimes enter into the subtropical areas. Trade winds which move from east to west drag tropical cyclone from east to west. The eastern coastal plains of Southeast Asia, South Asia and United States are worst hit by them. The tropical cyclones are thermal in nature, and 1/3 of tropical cyclones develop over the warm waters of tropical Pacific and have landfall over the Micronesian islands, Philippines, Taiwan and the East Asia. Tropical cyclones are circular in nature and circular isobaric cells. The air pressure gradient ranges between 40 to 100 millibar and the wind speed may touch over 200 km per hour. The average aerial extent of is about 50,000 square kilometer. It's sustained for 48 to 72 hours and its impact decreases after a landfall. It has 80 to 300 km diameter. These have uniform weather condition, equally aggressive in all sectors, develop huge swells and causes sea surge followed by coastal inundation. They have diverse local name as we have already discussed in this video. There is predetermined nomenclature for every tropical cyclone that is issued by the Indian Meteorological Department. We have already discussed. Now, Bay of Bengal is a home of tropical cyclone. This is, I think, now clear to you. One more interesting factor. The locust attack in the northwest India, especially Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, is directly associated with the cyclones. The last year was a positive Indian Ocean dipole effect. The monsoons were unusually long, and in December, the temperature of Western Indian Ocean was high by a degree and so. Whenever in the Western Indian Ocean the temperature is high or the low pressure, that is a positive Indian Ocean dipole effect. And India has seen this unusual high positive Indian Ocean dipole effect after so many years. That result, the heavy rainfall, the cyclonic condition along the West Asia, or you may say the Horn of Africa, the countries that are Yemen, Ethiopia and Kenya. Because of heavy rainfall in these African countries, the dry sand became moist, and with heavy moisture and the growth of vegetation became an ideal condition for the breeding of locusts. And these locusts, because of the cyclonic movement in the Indian Ocean from west to east that comes into the India, drag these locusts northwest part of India, and that has created havoc for the agriculture. Now, I think I have tried to explain you almost everything about the tropical cyclone. Although the cyclone is also temperate origin, so the cyclones can be categorized in two categories, tropical and temperate. In today's video, we have discussed the tropical cyclones in detail. For temperate cyclone, we shall make another video. So please share this video with your friends, with your colleagues, with your family members. Click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that the videos first reaches to you. And please give comment into the comment section. Thank you very much.